This episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by All-Star Vacation Homes, and if you've got a trip to Walt Disney World planned and you want to have a little extra space, want to stretch out, have a lot of great amenities, and not sacrifice your wallet, really, you get a lot of space with a lot of great stuff, and not for a lot of money, and very close to Walt Disney World. All-Star Vacation Homes provides all that in their wonderful, spacious vacation homes. Give them a try. Visit them online at www.allstarvacationhomes.com.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Friday, March 20th, 2009, and this is episode 541 of WDW Today. I'm Matt Hochberg of StudioCentral.com, and this is Bizarro Day compared to Monday and Wednesday because the exact opposite of people are here. Len is gone, and Lynette's still here, but we have Mike Newell and Mike Scopa back. We'll start with Mr. Newell. Mike, welcome back.
Hey, Matt, you're coming out of both speakers this time.
Hey, we upgraded to fancy new technology. Now in Technicolor.
I like this. Wow.
Also joining us today is Mike Scopa, a senior feature writer and blogger for allears.net. Welcome, Mike.
Intruders must be terminated. No exceptions.
That would be, it's tough to be a bug.
Tough to be a bug.
Very good. And I neglected to shamelessly plug Mr. Newell's website. So, Mike, I apologize. MouseWorldRadio.com. Go visit it right now.
Ooh, right now. BlackBerry app just announced.
Listen to the episode, then go and listen to it. Also joining us today is the manager of customer relations and group services for MEI and MouseFan Travel. That's, of course, the fabulous Annette Owens. And Annette, among everyone over here, I think you've got the longest tenure of episodes done consecutively.
Were we all shocked or what?
I'm telling you, it's Bizarro Day. On today's episode, we're going to compare two similar restaurants and kind of discuss the merits of them both and discuss really, and then hopefully we're going to come to some sort of a conclusion as to which we would rather eat at if we had to go eat right now after this recording. So our restaurants that we're comparing today are going to be Le Cellier Steakhouse and Epcot, and the Yachtsman Steakhouse in the Yacht Club Resort. So, with that, I think we should kind of start. We'll talk about one restaurant and then talk about the other one, and then kind of based on what we've talked about, kind of give a summary, if you will, where you would go. So let's start out with Le Cellier in Epcot, and if there's one person to talk about Le Cellier, one person to start with, that would be, of course, Mike Scopa. So, Mike.
Oh, you are right, Matthew. I am right. I am the one to talk about Le Cellier. Let me see. How do I start? Well, Le Cellier is... What?
It's in Canada, not France.
What country did we go to?
Hey, French is Canadian French. Okay, I mean...
True, but... Okay.
Okay, hoser. Let's see. Okay, it's primarily a steakhouse. It is has the smallest dining room of any Epcot World Showcase restaurant. And so it's very hard to get. What?
Well, you're going to say it's very hard to get into, but I was also going to add that it's also very quiet because of that.
It's very quiet, it's very quaint. It's very it's nice. It's romantic, whatever. It's very good. It has a signature entree, which is the strip steak, a New York strip, cooked very well. One of the things that Le Cellier has going for it is that it's very consistent. That is, from the first time I've been in there to the last time I've been in there, every time I've ordered that entree, and I ordered the same entree, it's the same every time. There is no variation. It is very consistent, and that's one of the things that I like about that restaurant. I know what I'm getting. There are no surprises, so it's a very good restaurant in that regard. It also has the cheddar cheese soup, which is very good. It's a very consistent restaurant. I think that's one of the big things it has going for it.
Absolutely. If there's two faults with Walt Disney World restaurants, generally speaking, it's that they are over air conditioned and overcrowded, and that generally results in it's very hard to actually sit down and have a conversation and hear the people you're speaking with without raising your voice somewhat. And I think Le Cellier doesn't suffer from maybe the over air conditioning thing, but the going back to what you were telling Mike about how quaint it is and how small it is. It's really nice. It really is an intimate feel to it. You're not in a glorified cafeteria. I mean, you are in a very small area, and I think that adds to it. I think having that small thing kind of really makes you feel like you're in a special place. It's not just like anywhere else. And certainly the steaks there are quite good. Now, Mr. Newell, you've what are your thoughts on Le Cellier?
Well, I had the opportunity to eat there just last week, and I dropped everything that I was doing because I was invited to someone else's ADR. So
Nice.
and it's funny because they had an ADR for the night before that they got that same day,
Wow.
which is wow. And then
Nice.
they wanted me to go along, so they didn't have enough room, so they wouldn't accommodate me. So they made an ADR for the next night and got it right away. So we had two ADRs. Well, the group did. I only went one night. And I had, the usual Scopa special, which I enjoyed. Cheddar cheese soup and the New York strip steak, which was really good.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, the steaks there are very good. They have some wonderful appetizers there too, as well. The cheddar cheese
Don't
soup.
forget the breadsticks. Come on.
Oh, the pretzel breadstick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pretzel bread is a meal in itself. That's worth going to.
we had extra. They came over and said, can we get you anything else? We're like, yeah, more breadsticks.
Sticks to go. I always ask for them to go. I need some more.
Absolutely. Now, one of the things that we've kind of touched upon is that it's very difficult to get an ADR here because of its small size. Newell, I mean, I am literally shocked, to tell you the truth, that you were able to your friends were able to get not only one last minute ADR but two.
That's why I dropped whatever I was doing, because usually when I go in August or during the peak season, it's impossible to get.
It's even during the slower times. I mean, whenever I'm in Epcot, I usually joke to my wife, let's go see if there's an availability at Le Cellier. And my wife, knowing full well there's no chance, she says, sure, go for it. Because there is no chance. And of course, they always tell me no. And so that's definitely a knock against it, because it's not a bad knock. It's just a knock because it's so hard to get into generally. But on the plus side, it's only, if you're on the dining plan, it's one table service credit, which is a fantastic value when you think about it, because the New York strip steak that you can get over there, I mean that's a fairly hefty price right there, and that's gonna it's definitely one of the places that it's good to eat on the dining plan, to say the least. So great appetizers, great free bread, great food over there. Atmosphere we talked about. In terms of theme scope, what does it do for you? I mean, to describe, I know that many of our listeners have never actually been in there because it's so hard to get an ADR for. Can you describe what the theme is there, or lack thereof, or whatever? What comes to mind when you're talking about the theme there?
Well, the thing is that when you walk in there, the dining room is supposed to be Canada, and the various portions of the dining room are parts of Canada, so that when you are seated, you're given a little history of, well, you're sitting in British Columbia or whatever, and it's known for this, and that, and all the servers are from Canada, which is nice, and they get to talk about their homeland, and so the theme is Canada and what it has, what it represents, and I think that it's a very good way of those people who are working in that restaurant to show a little pride for their country. And that's one of the things I wanted to mention early on, is that I would put Le Cellier against any other restaurant as far as the level of service that you get. I mean, you get very, very, very good service there. And I can't say that for every restaurant. It varies from restaurant to restaurant. For instance, I could go into, let's say, Mama Melrose today and have very, very good service. Tomorrow I could go into Mama Melrose and I could get half as good service.
Right.
Every single time I've gone into Le Cellier, it's been top level service. It doesn't matter who's waiting on me. And for a while there was one, I think her name was Judy. She said, "Oh, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah." Give me very, very good service. But even those who were serving me for the very first time, every single time, the same level of service. And that's why I'm always talking, great guns about Le Cellier. Besides the good food, it's a decent price. Besides the quality of the food, the quality of the service just can't be beat.
Absolutely.
Consistency there, as you're saying, it's the consistency.
Right.
You know you're going to get a good meal. The food's going to be good. You're going to get good service, and the desserts aren't anything to laugh at. They're good too.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is certainly a place. I mean, I would not hesitate in terms of recommending to friends and family. It's just a matter of, can you get in there? I think that's really, like I said, that's probably its biggest problem, and that's, I guess, a good problem to have if you're the restaurant. Certainly having steady business, and over the years it's held up its share of the bargain. Let's move to the Yachtsman Steakhouse in the Yacht Club Resort. Myself, Newell, Scopa, and Len also, we all ate there. When was that? A few months ago.
Mouse Fest, yeah.
Yeah, so we ate there fairly recently. And again, another steakhouse over there. This place is interesting. I mean, this one has this is a 2-table service credit, so unlike Le Cellier, this is 2. This is probably even more expensive than Le Cellier is. And Le Cellier, like you mentioned, I mean, Le Cellier, the New York strip steak is $34.99, whereas Yachtsman, it is New York strip steak is $42. Right. So we're talking, about a fair markup over here. But that being said, I've eaten here twice. I've had a wonderful experience. I had a ribeye steak, which was unbelievable, best steak I had in my life. And when I ate there with you guys, I had the ribeye again. Although it was off the menu. I had mentioned to the waiter, and he said, "Oh, he could still get me one." Maybe that was a bad thing. I probably should have eaten off the menu. It wasn't as good as I remember it. What were your thoughts on Yachtsman?
I've eaten at Yachtsman 3, 4, 5 times, and I've eaten there during for someone's birthday, and I thought that their level of service, as with Le Cellier, is top notch. Yes. I think that the prices of the entrees, although you could make an argument, I don't think it's too outrageous. I find that when I eat at Yachtsman, I can relax a little bit more. They don't rush you. Not that they rush you anywhere else, but for some reason at Yachtsman Steakhouse, I feel relaxed. I can sit back. I can have really nice long conversations with whomever I'm dining with, and it's usually a longer dining experience. I can't explain it. It just seems like it's a very relaxed dining atmosphere compared to most other restaurants.
Absolutely. I mean, I know you were talking about, Mike, earlier about the price. And, I think, in my opinion, if you pay a certain amount of money for it and you really think it's worth it, and in which case I think the steaks at Le Cellier at Yachtsman are worth it, then that's fine. I mean, when I had my ribeye, that was amazing. And I believe it was a $44 steak. And I remember thinking to myself, you know what? It was worth it to me. It really was one of the best steaks I've had. And if you're having an amazing steak that's among the best you've had in your life, maybe even top 5 of them. What were your thoughts on the restaurant, though, Newell, after having eaten there during Mousefest?
I thought it was very good. Like everybody else says, it's a little more pricey than I like. I really want to try Shula's to compare the steaks as opposed to, for the fancier places. Len paid, so actually it tasted better than if we had bought. So that's
Yeah, I think Mike brought up a good point, though. At La Cellier, I don't know why I keep doing that. Yachtsman, I really do feel like there's that relaxed aura. Great service.
The service was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I had mentioned in passing, the waiter wasn't even at our table, and I had mentioned to, I don't know if it was one of you guys or Len, that they didn't have the ribeye over there, and the waiter was, I guess, overheard our conversation and came over to the table and said, were you asking about the ribeye, sir? And I said, yeah, I had mentioned that it was, I had seen it the last time I was there, but it's not on the menu anymore, which is too bad because I really enjoyed it. And, he went and checked for me, and that's obviously something that's above and beyond the call of duty, and it's something that, again, is a testament to the wonderful service. I wanted to talk about, we're comparing to Le Cellier here, and we talked about the pretzel bread. Do you guys remember the bread that they brought, those rolls that they brought at Yachtsman with the garlic spread?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was also very good. Maybe not as good as the pretzel bread, but it was definitely one of the better appetizers, or one of the free really appetizers, I guess you want to call it, that I've had in Walt Disney World, and that was definitely top notch.
Well, one thing about the Yachtsman is when a couple is going and they're leaving the kids behind and they want a special restaurant just to relax, enjoy, anniversary or just getting away from the kids. Mm-hmm. That restaurant, it's a great way to just get back, dress up a little bit, relax.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you on that one. I think that one of the, there is a dress code there technically. It's just basically you're not wearing like bathing suits or cut off shorts, standard Newell fare. Sorry, not going to fly over there. But otherwise, you get to have it really does add to it. Now, talking a little bit about the theme here, not that Le Cellier is any great example of Disney theming, but I was talking to Scope about this at the time. Aside from the chop room over there, when you first walk in, that has all the meat, which is really cool. Aside from that, it really could be almost any. The theme is very unremarkable.
Right.
Yeah. There's nothing really that strikes me like I don't feel like I am on a yacht or a cruise ship, and I'm on a dining room. I'm in a dining room on a cruise ship. I think that would have been something that I would have tried to do if I were designing the restaurant, to make it feel like I'm on a cruise ship and I'm in the dining room of the cruise ship. But I didn't get that impression.
You know, one thing
but you feel like you're on display, kind of. I will say that. You feel like you're a little on display because there's the windows looking at the pool, but you're in the walkway.
Yeah.
Right there, the walkway with everybody can by.
True. One thing I wanted to mention is, we mentioned how difficult it is to get an ADR at Le Cellier, but at Yachtsman, it's very easy to get an ADR for, and I think it's probably has in part due to the fact A, it's not in a park, and B, it is somewhat more expensive, and I think it dissuades some people from going over there. But that being said, if you want a great meal, for a special celebration, like Mike, you've been there a couple times with that, it's going to be an easier place to get, closer to the date that you need it. You don't have to plan it out. For Le Cellier, I mean, we're talking, you really got to call. I mean, right now we have a 90-day window, so you'd have to call 90 days in advance, I really think, to get it, unless you get lucky. I don't know. Newell, I guess, is very lucky, so definitely go hang out with him the next time you're at Walt Disney World.
There you go.
So with that, we've kind of talked about the two. Let's compare the two now. You got to decide we're going to go eat somewhere after we're done recording this. Let's start with Newell. Newell, where would you go? And tell us why you would pick that one.
I would probably go to Le Cellier, more for the price and for the fact that the cheddar cheese soup is really good over there. Yeah, that's really about it. The steaks were comparable. Mm-hmm. If they were side by side, I probably wouldn't have noticed a difference, but the pricing was a little different, more over at Yachtsman. So I'd stick with Le Cellier.
Fair enough. Scopa, what do you think?
I would stick with Le Cellier for the reason that Mike said. Also, I think they have better salads than Yachtsman. Much better salads. I like their salads. I like the soup. They have signature salads. They have signature soup. They have the signature entrees, and they have better prices. So yeah, I'd go with that.
Yeah. See, I was teetering between the two, trying to decide which one, and I'm leaning towards Le Cellier, but I'm wondering in my own mind, is it for the novelty value, for the simple fact that I've only been to Le Cellier once, and I'm so hard to get in there, and maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe that's factoring into my decision a little bit.
You need to hang out with me more.
Exactly. I mean, Yachtsman I really like, and I wouldn't. But I think, Mike, you brought up a good point. Newell, the price. I mean, if Lent's paying for it, well, then Yachtsman it is, baby. But that being said, I mean, you got to pay for yourself. I mean, there is something to be said about saving some money. But if this, Yachtsman was good the first time. It wasn't so great the second time in terms of how good the steak was. So I'm going to have to go with Le Cellier because of its consistency. If I'm going to pay a lot of money, which Le Cellier is still expensive, don't get me wrong. If it's going to be, but if I know it's going to be consistently good, I don't have a problem paying the top dollar for that. Annette, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm going with you guys. Guess where we're all going after we record. I'm going with you guys for the price, but what other theme park are you going to be able to go into and actually be able to say, wow, I had this great, great meal? There's something about being able to eat and then walk around, and you're walking around the countries, and I prefer, if I can, to eat in the parks. I just love the maple creme brulee, so you gotta, it's all about dessert sometimes. So the bread and the dessert. Y'all are after the steak and the potatoes and all that other. I'm at the starters and the finishers.
All right. Well, I guess it's a clean sweep over there for Le Cellier. So
4 bells.
There you go. And just want to remind all of our listeners that our next live show is on Sunday, March 29th at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. So you can call in and tell us which of the two you'd rather eat at. I mean, I'd love to hear arguments for Yachtsman. It's not that I'm against it. I guess I'm sure someone's going to say something and be like, oh, yeah, that's a good point. So you can call in and either defend Yachtsman or tell us that, unfortunately, Scopa is right and Le Cellier is definitely the way to go. But our next live show is Sunday, March 29th at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And that's it for us today. Don't forget that this episode of WDW Today has been sponsored by All-Star Vacation Home. And, you might get lucky and go with Newell to the parks and be able to get into Le Cellier, but you know what? You can still bring him over to your vacation home and he'll cook you a great steak over there.
I will.
Mike loves to do that.
I will.
Yeah, you will, Mike. And you know what? He can. He's got all the perfect amenities to make a wonderful steak at an All-Star Vacation Home. And then afterwards, quick dip at the pool, Mike.
Nice.
Or maybe it's a little trip to play a little Donkey Kong. Whatever. Maybe a little both. So that's some of the great amenities that they must have more than that, but we always keep on talking about the kitchen, the Donkey Kong,
And the pool.
and the pool.
Yep, exactly.
But they have lots of great amenities. Check them out. Visit them online, www.allstarvacationhome.com. And if you want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, visit the WDW Today website at wdwtoday.com. For Lancaster, Mike Scopa, Mike Newell, and the fabulous Ned Owens, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on the next show.
Stupid Judy, stupid energy.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.